What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. Hey man, before we get into anything in this video, make sure that you like and share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all updates. Hit the post notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into it. For all my artists out there, whether you're a mainstream, major label act, legacy artist, independent, DIY music creative, music producer, songwriter, composer, etc., I think it's time that we end this love-hate relationship with Billboard. And when I say end the relationship, I mean stop giving a fuck about what they're talking about, okay? Because the whole thing is, who is Billboard, right? They're an independent private company. They're a magazine and publication that started back in the 1800s. They didn't introduce the actual Billboard Hot 100 chart until 1958. We've been dealing with them on this level for less than 100 years, but yet there's hundreds of artists. There's so many artists that are out here beefing, fighting, clawing tooth and nail, trying to get chart positions on the Billboard Hot 100, not understanding that all of the validity that this chart has is based upon our own interests and our own attention. This is a chart that comes out from a magazine. Now, if XXL, Vibe, Ebony, Jet, or any other magazine had their own chart like Billboard, we would not give two fucks. We would call that a two-pack of ass like Joe Budden. But for whatever reason, Billboard has this stronghold over us, just like the Grammys, just like the Recording Academy, just like all these other institutions, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, all these different places. Yes, some of our top performers, they do get embraced, they do get loved, they get their Lifetime Achievement Awards, and all of that stuff is great when it happens. But for the rest of us, why are we fighting? Billboard has the power to make any changes that they want with the charts at any time. There is no music industry vote about what we like and what we don't like. You know what I'm saying? They just wake up one day, they have a board meeting and decide we're not doing that no more. This not going to count no more, etc. So today, the whole entire industry just woke up to a surprise. Billboard will no longer be counting digital single sales from artist web stores towards the Hot 100. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that artists of all types have the ability to sell music directly from our websites, right? So you could sign up on Shopify right now. You could use an app like Single or Digital Download via Shopify. You could upload your music, put your artwork, and drop it directly to your website at whatever price you feel is fit. But typically, the low price will be 69 cents. The mid-tier will be 99 cents. The high order would be $1.29. Tabulate all of the people that are actually buying your music, and then you would report it to Nielsen, SoundScan, BDS, and Billboard. With the Single app, they can do it for you. And in theory, Billboard would then calculate all of this, take this information, and rank you based on how much support you have. We've got mainstream artists in the industry that are actually utilizing these resources. Many artists have went away from even having websites. Many artists have not been keeping up with their websites. And many of the artists that do have websites, it's like a glorified gallery looking like Instagram. They don't even have music available for sale. However, we do have some smart ones like Taylor Swift. She made several versions of her song Anti-Hero available to download on her website around the time her critically acclaimed album Midnights was released. Some of the versions included acoustic, EDM style, as well as remixes, and all of the support, all of the people actually buying that went towards her chart position, right? Now, Taylor Swift has had a storied career. She's had beef with Spotify. She's had beef with her label. She's had beef with Scooter Braun. She's had beef with the holders of her catalog. She had to actually go back and re-release her own music under her own company because she couldn't get access to the original masters. So to be honest, somebody like a Taylor Swift would be my inspiration and motivation for not giving a fuck about what Billboard is talking about. Despite all of the issues she's had in the industry, she's still rich. She's still successful. She has a massive fan base. They actually show up when she tours. You need to hone in on your actual tribe. Fuck these other places. BTS is another act that uses their website for digital single sales. Multiple versions of their songs such as Permission to Dance and Butter have instrumental versions as well as other versions available for fans to download directly from them. Plus, this stuff pays out way more than streams. We get paid 0.00035% of a cent when people stream our music. However, you can make $69.99 or $1.29 per download when you have a single out. You can sell your album for $15, $20, or whatever price you feel is fair for your fan base, and you're gonna get that money sent directly to you via Stripe. So what would you rather have? A bunch of streams? Those streams get tabulated and put you in the Hot 100 on Billboard and you don't make no money but $5,000? Or would you rather make $5,000 off of 200 fans? At the end of the day, if you're able to make money off of your music, you're winning. Currently, another artist that's been utilizing the private website is Nicki Minaj. She actually has multiple versions of her collaboration with Ice Spice, Princess Diana, which is also available on her website to purchase. So these are three big acts that are taking advantage of what most artists should have already been doing. Now, I understand that sales have definitely changed in the industry. We used to be able to get music off of iTunes, Amazon MP3, all these different places, and buying was the common practice. Ever since Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and all of these different platforms came into play, nobody wanted to spend any more money. But now we have unlimited access to all the music we want, and the only money that comes is again from that 0.00035% of a penny that we get per stream. So at the end of the day, I just don't think it's worth it to be worried about chart position when you have a real life to worry about. You want to pay bills. You want to pay car notes. You want to take care of yourself. You want to be able to feed your family. You want to be able to take care of your kids. You want to be able to help your parents or somebody around you, your friends, when they're in trouble. You want to go out to dinner with people. You want to take trips. You want to go on vacation every now and then. You should be able to get paid off of your work. All of the aesthetic, the optics, all of that stuff, it doesn't actually pay. To drive my point home even further, we have an artist by the name of Mahalia who's from the UK. She's an R&B soul singer. She came out with some choice words today talking about how hard it is for her to even survive. She went on Twitter today basically saying that she barely even makes rent off her music. Let's get into what she had to say. She comes out and says, "Do you know what's effing sad? Most of us artists in the UK who make R&B soul music have just had to come to terms with the fact that we may never have the same success as our peers in our home country because the industry won't allow us to. Do you know how hard it is to sell music in this current climate? Top 10 album? Don't even think about it. Commercial success? Don't even think about it. We're creating and releasing music in a world that doesn't actually want us to win. Why is it made so impossible for us to reach a #1 chart position when we stream the same numbers that mainstream artists do? Honestly, I'm perplexed." So she has a major deal. She has 100 million streams across platforms. She's streaming just as much as the mainstream big artists that come in those top 10, top 50 selections. However, she never charts. That should go and tell you how valid those charts actually are. If you're not from the right label, if you're not the right name, you may not even get documented. How does that work? Not only did she talk about her experience not charting and not being able to have the same amount of promotion as some of the artists that are out there, she also comes out and says, "I've been signed since I was 13. I'm 25 now, which basically means I've racked up 12 years of debt. I've never made a penny off of my own music. 100 million streams with all money made going to my label. This is pretty standard practice in most major label contracts." This tweet has 1.2 million views. Furthermore, she states, "What that means is when I'm tweeting and posting every day about pre-ordering my album, that's because real life sales make artists more than just pre-saves and streams." See, I was just talking about that. She says most signed artists spend a lot of their career trying to make enough money to be out of debt with their label so that they can see the money themselves. Further solidifying my point, we've been mindfucked into caring about all of these different institutions and we don't even know where they come from. We don't know why they're important. We were just born into a world where it was already classified as important. We have to divorce ourselves from this train of thought. Mahalia, just like Meek Mill, just like so many other artists in the last few years that have come out and said this same thing. They've been signed to these label contracts and they only made money off of their upfront advance. They haven't made a single dollar, penny, or anything else ever since. Why? How is it that it happens? I've broken this down on my channel before, but of course, people are not going back and watching that. So we're going to do an updated version right now. You get $1 million up front. That is your money. But then once you start making the album, you're going to have producer fees, writers, travel, promotions, artwork, all of these different things. You're going to have all these different departments of people that are working on your behalf that have to be paid out. So you can easily run up a $5-6 million tab just to get this album out. Not to mention radio, trying to get it out, all this stuff, right? Just for simplicity's sake, they gave you $1 million. Another $6 million was spent. That's $7 million in debt. When your album drops, you're now gonna have to make that $7 million up, right? When you sign a record deal, they're gonna give you a royalty rate. The average royalty rate is about 16%, which means in theory, you're supposed to make 16 cents of every dollar. Unfortunately, you won't actually get into the green where you can make 16 cents per dollar until that $7 million is recouped from what you do. So let's just say you make back $5 million, right? You do well, but you didn't make back that whole 7, you made 5. That means you're still $2 million in debt from the album cycle. You're going to go out and tour, so you're going to make money off of that. You're going to make money off of publishing. If your song gets used in any TV or films, you're going to get money off of that. You're going to get a little bit of money off of radio, independent radio. If your music getting played in bars, clubs, lounges, etc., you're going to get a little bit of publishing money off of that as well. But you're still $2 million in debt to the label. Now, once all of this is run out, you're going to probably go into another album cycle. The label may say, all right, we're going to give you a budget of another $2 million, $3 million for this next album. So you have $2 million already in the red. They give you another $3 million. Now you're back at $5 million in the red, which means that this next album is going to be pressured to make up your debt if you ever want to make any additional money off your masters. You don't make that money back. You say, let's say you do $3 million this way, still $2 million in debt. And the more music that you put out, the more money they invest into you, the lesser chance you have of ever recouping the funds. And as you continue to put out new music, most artists, by the time they're at their third, fourth, or fifth project, they've already been as popular as they're ever going to get. Your sales are going to start declining, which means that uphill battle to try to get to the black, which is the break-even moment, or get to the green to actually make profit, you're falling farther down on that slope. This is what Mahalia is talking about, and this has been her experience for 12 years in the music industry. So much so that she's actually going out here and telling her fans that they need to buy her album. She has an album dropping in 2 weeks, and she's saying, please buy the album, right? Because she's not making any money off of the stream. She has 100 million streams and not making anything off of it. The fastest way that she could ever get any closer to that break-even point is if people spend more money on her music rather than stream it. But realistically, people are just not going to do it. So at the end of the day, all of these ideas that we romanticize when we're kids, you know, these are the images that are being portrayed to us, and we start to believe in them. We think that they're true. We think that these ideas are really, you know, working with our best interests at heart. They're really not, man. It's all PR. It's all public relations. It's all promotion and marketing. The world is ran off of marketing. We believe that a Big Mac actually tastes good because they market to us in a format that says this is appealing. But we all know it ain't worth shit. Despite those that know, there's still millions of people every day that get off from work or go on their lunch break and they pick up a Big Mac because they believe in that institution. So at the end of the day, we're all brain fucked, and we have to divorce ourselves from these trains of thought. We have to divorce ourselves from these institutions. You got to understand, if you are an artist and you're able to make money off of your music, if you're able to sell a concert ticket, if you're able to sell merch or a USB drive or a physical version of your album in any capacity, you are winning. Do you understand? Most of the music that gets dropped on Spotify or any other streaming platform on a daily basis never reaches 100 listens. Do you understand that there's nearly 300,000 songs coming out every day across these platforms, most of which will never be heard by a single soul? Do you understand how many artists out here would love to do music full time but have to work 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet? So we have to understand, just being able to live off of music, you are privileged, even if you're not rich, even if you're not in the conversation with the Drakes, the Nicki Minaj's, the et ceteras. This shit is not easy. It's not guaranteed to nobody. And I think adding that extra pressure to yourself is only going to drive you crazy. It's only going to make you unhappy, and it's going to make you fall out of love with the music that brought you here in the first place. Y'all can let me know if you agree with me. If you disagree, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm just here to give y'all the raw, rugged truth. But let me know. For all my music creators out there, outside of doing YouTube videos, I actually am a full-time artist. Just last weekend, I did a show with NPR Music and Tiny Desk. They came out here to Atlanta for a show on a Tiny Desk tour. I was able to open up on that tour for Little Moon, who actually won this year's Tiny Desk contest. I've performed on Hot 97. I've worked with Patreon. I've done a bunch of different stuff in this industry, man. So if you're a music creator, you're an artist, producer, songwriter, composer, or anything, make sure you stick around for the bumper video at the end of this. So that you can go to my website, Pen Game Elite. You can learn information from me. I have a book breaking down how I've turned my interest in music into a full-time career, how I got my music in over 150 TV shows and films, how I'm able to write songs for fellow artists coming up, how I write songs for small businesses and other companies, all doing this independently. I don't have a manager. I don't have a booking agent. I don't have anyone other than myself. If you're interested in learning more about that, check out the bumper video at the end of this. Check out my website, pengameelite.com. It's going to be linked in the description below. Check it out, man. Much love and respect. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the content. Make sure that you're liking and sharing these videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the post notification bell so you get all updates for all of my artists, my artist managers, songwriters, producers, etc. If you need a little bit of extra help with your career, man, make sure that you visit pengameelite.com, okay? That's my website and my community for all upcoming rising music creators. I got 2 books on there, the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 1 and 2. They're going to give you a lot of insights into the music industry, how to monetize your career, how I make my money off of music, because I am a full-time artist outside of doing YouTube videos. If you need some direct help, you can also book a consultation with me on the Pen Game Elite website. And I also have a Pen Game Elite membership. The free tier gives you access to all of these videos that I post on YouTube and a community of people where you can engage. But I do have the membership plus, okay? You can join that for $50 a month or $500 a year. And I will actually go in and do all of the grunt work for you. If you're not registering your songs on your PROs, if you're not with Song Trust or the MLC, if all your collection agencies and all of that stuff are not up to par or up to date, I will go in there and update all of that for you. If you need help uploading your music to a distributor like DistroKid, United Masters, etc., and you've been making mistakes, you've been claiming content ID on material that you really don't own, hey man, stop stealing people's money. If you do this stuff the right way, you're gonna make it anyway, okay? You can join the membership plus, and again, I will do the work for you, and you're gonna get a free consultation every month just for joining. You're also gonna get the 2 books for free soon as you join the membership plus. All right, much love and respect. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.